this. Maybe this kicked it off. All this talk about beating those Montreal Canadiens and beating that jinx in 1988 set things off on a good tone. We had several guests on our show, which we are going to hear from later. It was such a fun night, guys, with the ceremony, with the score, with the game, with their guests. What a night. What a night.
Another night of another era night that was worthy of it. Man, did they do just a phenomenal job presenting the passion that is Boston Bruins hockey, the history, and
the characters.
The character, oh my gosh, the character. Just when you think you're the last generation, right? Just when you think like Derek Sanderson and those guys, that was everything. Then you get other guys, right? Every generation has their own. But the way that the Bruins, Barry, decided to play in the third period, and we'll get into it in a moment, but the way that they decided to play to put the game away was very 2023-24 Bruins. Really, really good. They finally said to the Canadiens, no more. No more. We're going to show you what winning time's about.
Now, you think tonight was special for obvious reasons that you just went through. What about when the 2011 Cup team comes back here? You don't think it's going to be crazy then?
It's going to be crazy.
I mean, what a year. And I know being around town and walking around, people, the fans are having so much fun. Because they're sitting in front of the TV and there's one generation that says, who's this dad? And they start telling the stories. They're having a great, great time.
They got the wave going here at the Garden.
Well, that was circa 1988, right? They were honoring that then right there.
And by the way, this is Bruins Overtime Live presented by buyatoyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit buyatoyota.com. As I said, 9 for the final. And how about Danton Heinen, who we talked about in pregame, all good things to say, his first career hat trick in this game.
He doesn't say much.
He doesn't.
He's a wonderful kid.
Yes.
But he doesn't talk an awful lot. He's always very gracious and very more than pleasant, incredibly affable. But he just smiles and lets his play do the talking. He has come back here as we show you the D to D, the wide play of how the Bruins spread out here. That opens up Montreal even more. Heinen gets himself to the far post, and it's a slap pass from Grzelcyk. His head's up the entire time. Doesn't give away that he's going to go back to that far post. He puts it in. So there's number one. Then the Bruins are going to get a breakaway, beg your pardon, a 2-on-1 opportunity here due to the way that the Bruins stretched their wingers. Touch pass from Boquist to Heinen, and this was an absolute smoke shot up there.
Great job on the breakout as we started. We talked about before, Billy. It's right here. You freeze a defense when you just chip it by him. Now all of a sudden you've got a 2-on-1. Montreal's forwards can't come back. Heinen uses Patra as a decoy. Improves his angle right here. That's where the whole transition happens. You got speed going. He looks him off. Bang.
And number 3, Bruins are on a power play late in the third, midway through the third. This is the second power play unit that gets out. There's actually a mishmash of second and we'll call it somewhat third power play unit.
Yep.
So they're not trying to run up the score per se. What they're trying to do is saying, hey, go out there and whatever happens, happens. Well, they're feeding him. They're saying, manja, Danton, manja, eat,
You love
eat.
that.
I do. They're feeding him the puck when they can. He gets himself over to that far post again. How about the play by Geekie?
Oh, what a great play. They move it on down. But the most difficult part about this, Billy, when you're trying to feed this guy is to not get into it too early and not force it, right? And all of a sudden they just keep working it around and Montreal's defense just collapses.
Montreal's defense, once they got, they just started puck watching the entire time, and the Bruins just started saying, "This is not how you play D." Danton Heinen right there, all smiles, but that's like as crazy as Danton's going to get.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. You mean as animated or
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have it, and I don't know if we'll get to it or not. But the hats come down. I can only imagine the smile on head coach Jim Montgomery's face after that. I'm not sure if we had a camera on or not, but because Danton comes here because he played college hockey for Jim Montgomery. Yeah. Obviously a great relationship.
Yeah, and watch Ullmark here too, Billy. He comes over to him and he says, comes out of his net to pay respects, to say, hey, we know that's your first. Well done, kid.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yep.
I love this whole team. Danton Heinen, no surprise, even though actually there were a lot of goal scorers in this one. He is our Subaru star of the game. So Danton Heinen, familiar with the Boston Bruins, his second stint here. He was with Pittsburgh for the last couple of seasons, and this is him through 2 seasons with Pittsburgh. He had 65 games through 37, already the same amount of goals.
Last 2 seasons. Yeah.
Last 2 seasons. Oh,
yes.
Last 2. Geez,
yes.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So 8 for him on the season, and like we said, his first career hat.
But as we talked about in the pregame, those stats are great and they're impressive, but he's done so much more for this hockey team. He's really been a guy that the coach can rely on in key times. He's been a good penalty killer. He can go up and down the lineup. If you need him to play in the top 2 lines, Billy, for a game or two, he can get you that done.
This like he signed that 1-year league minimum contract, right? So now he's putting himself in position by showing his complete game. And just everybody knows he can shoot. Everybody knows he can score just enough. He's putting himself into a great position for next year as well.
Yeah, good for him.
He actually had a multi-goal game against the Bruins with Pittsburgh.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. He's back here now, and he spoke with Raisin.
First career hat trick on air night against the Montreal Canadiens Saturday night. How much fun is that?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Like you said, against the Canadiens Saturday night. So yeah, no, it's fun.
Well, it was a lot of fun to watch for everyone in the audience, and the power play. You get tossed out there, you know everyone's looking for you. Go to the net, put your stick on the ice. Is that the strategy?
Yeah, exactly. I was just trying to go to the net, and Geeks made 2 good plays, one before. I probably should have got one on net there, but you know, he gave me an open net on that second one, so all credit to him. And yeah, just all him there.
Just over halfway through the season, and we all know your story and how the season started for you and waiting to get a deal done. Just how satisfying has it been for you to be able to contribute the way you have? Because you've been instrumental in this team's success through 44, 45 games.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think, you know, it's a fun group to be a part of, you know. You just want to be a part of it. So, yeah, you know, it hasn't gone in as much as you like, and so for that, to see a few go in there, I'm not gonna lie, it does feel good. But more importantly, we got the 2 points.
Well, congrats, celebrate, have fun, and well deserved.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Steady, Danton. Steady and even.
I'll tell you, that is excited, Dan. It is right there. It's awesome. Wonderful person.
Good for him with this first career hat trick. David Pastrnak, too, what a thing of beauty, out-muscling his opponent, getting his 30th of the season.
Yeah, this was after the penalty kill early with 56 seconds. The Grizzlies, they needed to kill off, right, Billy, in that third. They do that. And all of a sudden, Pasta gets it in the neutral zone, does a great job of fending off, blocking, and he gets his own rebound. And just a thing of beauty with the speed right here. Bang, look how he pulls away.
Awesome stuff. He's taking on Jaden Struble. Struble, a local kid. Watch right here. Left knee gets in front of Struble. Does not allow, who's a big, strong dude himself, like he's a big guy. Does not allow him to catch Pastrnak. So Pastrnak right here. Acceleration. And then again, watch as he gets to the inside. He's going to invite the contact right there.
This is an invite? I was going to ask you that because
it is.
Do that before.
Yeah, well, if you don't invite it, that means you stay to the outside.
Outside, yeah.
So you bring it to the inside. That look right there. That look right there with the left knee to the inside, Barry, and the leverage. Again, Struble's a strong kid. He gets on the inside of him, and not only does he get a shot off, but then he's got the strength on his skates, Barry, to follow the puck up, the rebound right back to him.
Guys, it's a centennial, so we've seen and we've talked about a lot of the legends coming through the building, and look at this. David Pastrnak making his way up there to the top for his seventh 30-goal season, so second in history, tied with Johnny Busick. Pretty great stuff for David Pastrnak.
Especially at only age 27.
Yeah.
He's got a few more years in him to start to really climb the ladder.
Absolutely. Brad Marchand also scoring shortly after that David Pastrnak goal, guys.
Yeah, and this is when the Bruins just started to say, okay, all right, again, we're going to show you now what we want to do here. And the puck is low. This is not a good pass by Barron into middle ice. I don't know if he thinks he has somebody who's supposed to be there as an outlet, but look, if this was the Bruins, we'd be saying it's a bad pass, and it is.
It was a bad.
Here you go. You got D to D. You come up the wall. He feels pressure, but I don't know who he's passing it to. Regardless, I don't know. It gets over to Coyle. Coyle, you're not going to lose those battles, and he finds a wide open Brad Marchand in the slot.
Yeah, this is one of your Eagle moments. Teaching. Watch how Coyle goes to the
I hope
net.
my Eagles don't do that.
Yeah, but look at that. You go really close to the net when you know you got somebody defending. What happens? He runs into the net, and all of a sudden, Marchand wide open with 5 Canadiens standing around.
This Marty St. Louis is. If thankfully that we didn't have that one of those pop-up bubbles from the '80s. You're too young for that. But remember that MTV?
Yeah.
Used to have the bubble thing.
Yeah.
You know, and it'd be a bunch of bad words.
Yeah.
It would be.
It would in French.
Sure, in French. Probably bilingual bad words.
So we saw David Pasternak's graphic with 30 goals. Marchand, that one was his 20th of the season, and he he surpasses Johnny Busick and Patrice Bergeron now for most consecutive consecutive 20-goal seasons in Bruins history. Another big deal. Man, this team is fun to watch. Okay. Lots of scoring in this one, but special teams played a role as well. What about the Bruins' third period PK when they had to kill off that?
Yeah, I mean, we could have started with this. It's not as fun. It's not as energetic. But, Barry, if they don't get this penalty kill to start the third in a 9-goal game, meaning a 5-4 game up to that point, who knows what happens?
Exactly.
Right? With this penalty kill, again, I think this is a winning time penalty kill where they said, let's get back to business.
Yeah, they did. They needed it because, Montreal already had scored 2 power play goals. And, halfway through the second period, we were talking about, Billy, Montreal had 10 shots on goal, but had scored 3 goals, 2 of them on the power play.
So much for save percentage.
Yes, it was just gone. And that's something obvious, as we've talked about all year long. It's not the goaltending. It's been so good, but this is special team. This is one of those ones where, Brickle's going to talk to you about during the game, a timely penalty kill. This was one because it allowed you to get the momentum, a little sigh of relief after you killed it off, and then you just pulled away.
They didn't let Montreal really get set. Did you notice that? It was 50-something seconds right there. They were on them quickly. They were anticipating well, doing all the little things that they have to do, and they did it. And then that, in my estimation, completely set the tone for a third period. Right there.
It did. And then the goals, like you said, Barry, kept on pouring. All right, we have so much more to get to. So many players to hear.
Watch how excited he is right here.
There he is. Hey.
Let's see.
Okay.
We're going to get dressing room reaction. We're going to hear from Jim Montgomery going one-on-one with Brick. And, of course, we're going to talk about this Era's night, new blood, new beginnings. We're going to look back at the great times we had on set tonight. Coming up.